Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Jersey to Vegas podcast, episode number 80. Today, I'm really just going to talk about a pretty, not tough topic, but one that sits home with me pretty easily, right? And of course, that's what this podcast is about: mental health, bipolar depression, dealing with, living with life. And what struck it today was, it's in the headline, right? I'm sure maybe if you guys don't know, a gentleman by the name of Stephen Boss and or Twitch. Most of you guys might know him from the Ellen Show, the DJ from the Ellen Show. He apparently committed suicide or died from suicide. And it's a shame, because, sorry I keep looking, I have to look into the camera. I'm looking and reading some stuff this morning about him. I used to watch him from So You Think You Could Dance, I think it was like 2014, maybe even before, I would say. Probably before that. I'm trying to remember what year it was, but anyway, he was in season 1, didn't make it through because of a guy named Hawk, who I really liked as a dancer, and then he came back in season 2. Or was that season 4? No, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a shame, right? Because he's seemed like a very happy, a very fun, a very exciting, and inspired gentleman. Now, what's the cause? I don't know, right? No one knows. It's pretty much up in the air right now. I believe it just happened. I got a text from my wife this morning, and she was like, "You'll never know." And then I was like, "Oh man, not like I know the guy, right? We don't know him, but I was inspired by him, by doing things and creating funny stuff. Like, he just had humor, and he was very entertaining to me. But when I found out about that, it just made me think about men in general." Right, men in general, and the facts behind suicide. So I Googled it, of course, because that's the only way to find stuff out. And here's some fun, not fun facts. Suicide is this is what really got me. Suicide is the 12th leading cause of death in the United States. The 12th, guys, the 12th. And higher percentage in men, right? Where's the other one with men? In 2000, because I want to know more current stuff. In 2020, men died by suicide 3.88 times more than women. On average, there are 130 suicides per day. White males account for 69.68% of suicide deaths in 2020. In 2020, firearms accounted for 52.83 in all those suicide deaths. What got me the most was this number. In 2020, 45,979 Americans died by suicide. Not including other countries where I know there's mental health. I'll jump on Spaces. If you guys don't know what Spaces are, I really hope I'm calling it right. On Twitter, they have mental health groups, right? Twitter's cool. I don't know if you guys are on it, but you don't have to. It's fine. I think it's fun to blurb, but at the same time, they have these groups where people just could anonymously talk and be, and I believe it's called Spaces. I just never really, it's a space. And when I go on there, especially the mental health areas, it's like Indian men, a lot of Indians, tons of Indians. So if 46,000 Americans died by suicide in 2020, that's pretty, doesn't that tell you something? Doesn't it tell you that it's a fucking problem that no one wants to talk about? Right? No one wants to do anything about it. It's well, that's not my problem. I'll send him some flowers. I'll give him a call. I'll check on him. But you never know, right? And I guess you could say that's hard too. Hold on. It's hard too because invasion of privacy. You don't understand. You don't want to jump to conclusions. You don't want to upset someone. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. But if that person's your friend, why not? If something's a little off, maybe You don't see them post as much as they were posting all the time. Or you listen to their language in whatever blog they write. Or they don't text you anymore. Or we always assume that the people do not want to be bothered. Right? If someone doesn't text you, it's like, oh no, I'm not going to text him anymore. I don't want to bother him. I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be... Maybe you need to be. Maybe one text. You don't want to talk the whole time. Maybe just say, hey man, just checking up. What's going on? What are you doing? How's everything? And if they don't respond, shoot it back until they say, go fuck yourself. Because most of the time, they're not really thinking that, right? Usually they're the one that's like, ugh, I don't want to be bothered by them. I don't want to bother them with my problems. I don't want to, from the other side, right? It's like, I don't want to be a burden on them. I don't want to be a problem to them. I don't want to bring them down today. Like today, I just don't feel good. I don't want to, I don't want to text them. I don't want to talk to people because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. But maybe you need to be, right? Or maybe it's the other person that just, if you feel it, like we don't fall into our gut instincts anymore, and you don't use them. Right? Your gut says do this. What do? Opposite. Because we get masked by what we think we need people to think about us. Right? Or what? Oh, I don't want them to think about me this way, so I'm not going to do it. I'm annoying. No, you're not. So what if you are? Is your intent to annoy them? No, your intent was not to annoy them. Your intent was to check up on them. And if they can't take that, well then, sorry. You're doing your job as a friend, as a person that cares, to reach out and make sure they're doing okay. And that could be any friend. I don't think they have to have any bipolar, depression, or just... If they're your fucking friend, then just check up on them. Shoot them a funny meme. Do something, to keep communication lines open, as always. Because you know why? Oh, my fucking elbow. Fuck me. See, I would edit that, but I can't because this is live. I forgot what I was saying. I hit my elbow really hard before. What was I talking about? I was on a roll, too. Fucking elbow. Boogers. Every podcast. Boogers. I got something wrong here. I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe I broke it. But anyway, it's our job to check on them. Because they're your friend. Not because you have to. Because you probably want to. And if you don't want to, well, then they're not your friend anymore, are they? You ever think about that? Maybe now you're forced into the situation of like, oh man, I'm kind of their friend, but I really don't like them anymore, but I just want to keep what we had going. Right? So like, I'm just going to shoot them a text and go, yeah, that was fun. Yay. That was fun. We're still friends. But you don't want to be friends with them. If you don't want to be friends with them, just don't be friends with them anymore. And that's it. Pretty simple. If you want to keep the communication, the lines open, then you're friends with them. So shoot them a message every month, every once in a while. I have friends that I haven't fucking talked to in God, who knows how long. But I know they're still my friend. Right? Because I'll shoot a text every 2 months. Every once in a while, we'll talk. And it's just like everyone says, it's just like, it's like you talked yesterday. Just like you talked yesterday. This is really hitting differently today. Because I fucking get it. Like, if he did it by, if the guy Twitch did what they say he did, which is pretty much, according to Google, that's pretty reputable, right? Twitch, Ellen DeGeneres DJ dies apparent LA suicide. Ellen's Twitch DJ boss died at 40. He's 40. Man. He's such a good dancer. He's fun to watch, man. He was fun to watch. But, like, it's weird, that many people just... Whoa, there were 2020, let's look at this one. In 2020, there are an estimated 1.2 million suicide attempts in the United States. 1.2 million suicide attempts. I'm one. So I am 100th, 10th percentile of that. Holy Jesus. One other stat. Here you go. So if you got a male child from 25 to 34 years, most likely those are the rates that are higher amongst young adults. Whoa, 75 to 84. We're hung some adults age. Whoa, young groups have had consistently lower suicide rates than middle-aged men. Okay, I wonder why, right? So 25 to 34. Why is that age such like a big? What do you think? Why do you think it's such a very profound period of your life, right? They would call that like quarter life crisis. Because you don't know, you were so rushed into what you needed to do in life, you really didn't want to do it. So now you have to change, and then now you're stuck. Right? That's why we go through this period of life. I know I went through my quarter life crisis. I was drinking, I was fucking bartending. It was a great time. It was a great time. I made so many mistakes, so many things, and I don't even want to say that I regret because it brings me here, but I know it was not who I was, who I am. It helped me become who I am, that period. It helped me understand right and wrong. It helped me understand that phase of life that I needed to go through. But most of us are just stuck. We're stuck either in a job, we're stuck in a lifestyle, you're stuck under your parents, you're stuck inside this period of life where there's a lot of pressure. Right? Who's going to be my wife? Am I going to get married? I gotta have kids soon. Everyone's going to do this. I got to have a job. I need this much money. You don't think that's going to make you angry? You don't think that's going to make you think a lot? It's going to. That period of time is, I believe 25-34 should be mandatory therapy. Mandatory, like as a human being, you have to go talk to someone from this time to this time. You want to see those numbers increase? It's mandatory. If school's mandatory, right? Why can't we just make that mandatory? Why can't we do something? Or just like tell people it's okay to do so at that period of time. Versus like this stat. I'd rather have a stat be like, hey, from 25 to 35, let's make it easier. From 21, right? Well, give some time. 25 to 40, you should have some therapy 2 times a week. Because that's a period of your life that you're going to lose your fucking mind. So much pressure, so much things that you think you need to do and you don't. You don't have to do anything. But we have expectations of others. Right? And we don't want to break people's heart. We talked about that. And the guy's name was Kyle Cease. Kyle Cease is a guy I follow, a guy went to seminars, virtual seminars, and kind of like a mentor now to me in this process of my life. And he says that no one can break your heart. They can only break your expectations of what you expected. And that's very true. Your heart's always here. Your heart's not broken. Your expectations of whatever it was broken, and now you're hurt from it. Right? So no one can technically break your heart. Your heart's you. Your heart's what helps you. They just fucked up everything you expected in life to be, and now it's not. And that's 25 to 40 years old. We think we're going to be here forever. We think we have all this stuff to do. We think. And then we just do what we think other people will think of us that we think they should do. We should do for them to portray. It's like, oh my God, how am I going to talk to people on a date? How am I going to talk to people at the wedding table? How am I going to talk to people when we're out for happy hour? I can't tell them I don't do anything. I can't tell them I do this. I can't. Yes, you can. You're just scared about what the fuck they think. Here's what I think. Fuck them. Who cares? If what you're doing is happiness and what you're doing is making you happy, who gives a shit what everyone else thinks? And if they don't like it, they shouldn't be in your life anyway. And that can be a very close proximal person, someone within your own household. And if they're not on board with you, that's going to be a fight. That's going to cause a lot of depression. That's going to cause a lot of resentment, if anything. They're not on your side. Like, how is someone that you care about and love and someone that's with not on your side? At least, instead of Say you want to be an actress. Nope, gotta be a nurse. Of course, right? I'm Filipino. Nope, gotta be a nurse. Her talent is so much into acting, or his talent. We're talking about men, right? His talent is he's a great actor. Great actor. On his way, moving along, wants to move to New York City and audition and just live that life. Nope. You need benefits. You need to have a job. You need to be here because I say so and I paid for your college and I do all this noise here. Because this is what we do in our family. We are nurses. We are doctors. And that guy don't give a fuck about a scalpel. Doesn't give a shit about a blood pressure taker. What do they call the thing? I forget. A blood pressure pump. You don't give a fuck about it. Now he's in this dead-end job, which is paying him some decent amount of money, taking care of his insurance. But his talent, his heart, his love, his passion is going away. Just watching other people live it. There's going to be resentment there to those parents. He's going to hate your guts. And if you're a parent now, like your kids are going to fucking hate your guts. They're going to love you. They're going to love you regardless. But if you don't get on board or get them that side or give them the opportunity to fuck up on their own, they're going to hate your guts for a long time. And they're going to blame you for all the things that they did not get to experience. Because this is the way it has to be, and this is the way we do this in our family. I'm the royalty. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. And of course, I'm watching Prince whatever, and the other girl. That's because Nat's watching it on Netflix. Prince Albert, and Tyrana Jones. Yeah, that's who it is. Is that right? Is that correct? I just realized that the prince now, his mother was Prince Diana. And she passed away. I didn't know this shit. And he's married to Prince Charles. She was married to Prince Charles. Amazing. Didn't know that. Okay. Irrelevant information, right, for this podcast, but something new to me. Because I don't give a fuck about that shit. What I do give a shit about are these statistics. That's why I make these videos. I am here to give you some kind of awareness that men die. And men die by their own hand. And it's their choice. Which makes it so malicious, right? I ain't even got to curse. I don't. Did I curse? I curse a lot, man. I always curse. I'm from New Jersey. I'm an Asian from New Jersey. I'm going to curse. Some way, somehow. I can control it, but then it sounds stupid. I know when to curse and not to curse in the right places. Like, I'm not going to go to church and curse. That'd be fucked up. See? It's a shame that, like, the experience today, that learning about that he's just... But here's the thing, too, right? It's glorified for him. It's great. I mean, it's great. It's terrible. It's good that people are more aware of these conditions because celebrities or popular people are going through it, right? And now the media will show you that. But no one, did you know? Like, did you see the 1.2 million suicide attempts in the United States? Is that on the media? No, it's fucking hidden, and I gotta Google it. I feel like that should be something that should go up all the time. Like, there's a problem. It's a problem. But they don't want to. They rather feed you some medicine. They probably feed you some other stuff. But there's an issue. Look, I almost cursed. I didn't, just for you. On an average, there's 130 suicides a day in the United States. 130. It's a lot. That's a lot. That's like in a little small town. That's like a whole class. Like a whole senior class. Like my class was like 320, something like that. Almost half of them in a year. It just doesn't make sense to me. But it does make sense to me because I was there. Number one, I didn't want to be bothered. Number two, I didn't want to bother anybody. Number three, I didn't want to talk to anybody. Number four, I put on a great fake face. Number five, I wish someone just talked to me. And that's the truth. At that point of my life, it was just about surviving. It was just about going through motions. It was just about trying to achieve something so I can feel better when I wake up. At that point, it just started to get number and number. Where not that your family didn't count, right? Or that you didn't love them. You just felt like they'd be better off without you. They'd be better off without you. Because I'm angry all the time, or I'm drinking all the time, or I'm tired all the time, or I don't want to play with things and do stuff and play around because I'm exhausted all the time. Your mental health will drain you. It'll make you feel so insignificant in this world. But you are. And that's the truth. If you don't want to believe it, stay here a little bit longer, press rewind, because I'm going to tell you again that you do matter, that you do care. Yeah, listen. I am a Roman Catholic, Filipino, of course, right? Do I go to church every so often? Yeah, I do so. More so to please my parents. At the same time, I believe that there's something that you need to believe in. Whatever religion you choose. And praying is huge. Praying doesn't mean I have to pray to God. Praying can just be praying to your own soul to ask for help. Because there's something else above us. If you don't believe that, there's something else. And you know what else is above us? It's you. A lot of people believe you're the God. And if that's your belief, then that's your belief. But at least you're asking for some help. Or at least you're doing something to talk, like you're talking it out. Right? What's praying? It's self-talk. Praying is meditation. Praying is finding out what's deeper inside of what you're doing. Like, I'm asking for this help, but I don't want to tell anyone. But this is what I really want. Listen to your prayers. Listen to them. It's what you want. But then we just pray, and then we wish someone would give it to us. You wish that something's going to give it to you. No, you were praying for this truth, and it's right there. Write down that truth, and then figure out how to go get that truth. There's a spirit, there's something. It's bigger than all of us. Don't know what it is. I don't read too much into it. I just know what works best for me. But what I do know is that I've been in the experience of being the other side of suicide. And this wasn't long ago, guys. It was 2 years ago. December 4th, just passed. My mind was not, I don't even want to say right. It just was not me. Voices, cloudiness, noises, seeing stuff, imagining things talking to me more. It was very weird. But I'm still here. And I'm here for a reason. It's just a shame that this many people have to go through life without knowing that someone cares for them. Because they do. Some of you guys, people do care for you. Even these animals. So my dog said, they love you. If you don't have a person in your life, that animal loves you. Take your time. Ask for help. Go talk to someone. Go seek help. If you know you're kind of off, you're at that borderline, just call the crisis hotline. It's right there. It's always there. Talk to a friend. Talk to a therapist. But the main thing is, just don't give up. You're going to want to. But you got so much inside that, I don't know. Life's worth it sometimes. That's all. All right, guys, I got to go. Got to go pick up my daughter from school. Thank you so much for coming out today. This is Jersey to Vegas podcast, episode number 80. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate it. For real. Thanks for commenting. I believe your name was Legacy. I missed it.